What's going on, everybody? This is BucosLocker coming to you again. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify all new videos that's posted on this channel. Shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for supporting this channel. Keep supporting it. I appreciate it. Uh, but anyway, everybody doing on this Monday, the week of our first preseason game this weekend coming up. So I'll be dropping some videos, multiple videos this week. You know what I'm saying? Try about 3 videos this week, maybe 4. But I just want to kind of check in with y'all real quick. Just got in. I remember I told y'all last week what I was gonna do. I went and checked out the Saints practice session, morning session that started at 9 o'clock. Doing a little bit of scouting, because we got them week 2. So I'm doing extensive research, extensive scouting, a scouting report on Saints training camp. Well, so I'll be going again Wednesday and Thursday. Remember, I'm doing this for research purposes. I want to understand, because we played them twice, and I got both of those games circled. And remember, we already know we 1-7 in the last 8 games against the Saints. Now we won that playoff game. Well, if you count the playoff, so Brady's 1-4, including the playoff game against the Saints. So I've been trying to dig and understand, being this is our divisional rival, to understand the reasons why we keep losing it. I mean, I get it from a Bucs perspective, but I'm trying to figure out why the Saints keep getting us like this. So I went out there myself. I stay around the corner from the training facility, so I did a little scouting. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a lot to say about the practice because it ended early. Lightning. It was raining this morning, and then it was really bad lightning. So I gathered a little bit. What I've gathered in person watching the Saints practice, the culture is different. You know what I'm saying? It's like no other across. Like it's one of the few cultures in the NFL that like stands out. You know what I'm saying? And seeing it with your eyes and being there in person, you can see it. And this is my first time ever going to their training camp as far as in person, because even though I live around the corner, I just never had any interest in going there myself. But being that we've struggled, being that we struggled, or the Bucs have struggled against the Saints the last 8 games, I said, well, let me go on out there. Let me see, what's they swag about? You know what I'm saying? Let me understand, because remember, the goal is you got to win your division first. Nothing else matters before your division. That is the primary goal. And in our division, our biggest issue is the Saints. It's not the Carolina Kitty Cats. It's not the Atlanta Falcons. It's the Saints. And we can all agree to that. No matter how you feel, facts over feelings, the Saints is the biggest problem. So you can tell yourself it's not a big deal or don't worry about it. But hey, that's kind of like being delusional. It's like saying, there's a problem, but you're going to ignore it. Like, it's not, I know it's a problem, but I don't care. No. If you're a football fan, from a football perspective, you should care that the Bucs keep losing to the Saints. If you're a real Bucs fan, a real Pirate and Sea Bandit, you should really care and want the Bucs to. You should want the Bucs to beat the Saints consistently, instead of saying, "Oh, it's no big deal. It's just 2 games." No, those 2 games are a huge deal, because that can decide the division. That can decide playoff the seeding. Remember, you got to win your division first. And we did that last year, right? So when I went out there to check them out in person, I mean, like I said, I didn't get a lot, but I'll be out there Wednesday and Thursday, getting a first-hand view of of the problem. I'm gonna call the Saints the problem, or one of the problems, along with the Rams and injuries. The 3 things I named this season. The 3 problems is, number 1, injuries. Number 2, the Rams. Number 3, the Saints. Those are the 3 biggest problems this season I want to see the Bucs, overcome. You know what I'm saying? And we can do that. Don't get me wrong. We have the talent. We have the coaching staff. We have the fan base to overcome those 3 things, right? We can overcome injuries. We have a top 5 roster, right? We can overcome the Rams if everybody's healthy, right? It goes back to problem number 1. We can overcome the Rams. We almost beat them last year, right? Almost don't count, but the Rams have had our number the last couple of years, right? We can also beat the Saints, hopefully, right? But history shows, in recent history, it has not been successful. Remember one of my hashtags, facts over feelings. The fact is, the Saints is a problem. They have our number. And we got to find a way, or the Bucs got to find a way to overcome them. And as a fan base, we got to be able to attack the Saints fan base and overcome them, because we really don't have nothing to stand on. Now, we do have a Super Bowl, but just talking about just, football, just overall football talk, the only thing that we have to stand on is that playoff win, which really mattered, and the Super Bowl. Now, just if you want to talk about the whole totality of the Saints-Bucs situation in the last couple of years, we don't have a leg to stand on. What can you really defend? You know what I'm saying? So this year got to be different. We got to be able to, as a fan base, hold up against the Saints fan base, because the Saints fan base keep attacking us like we just some little boy, like we some little brother. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't overcome them. Like they are big brother, and they're not our big brother. You know what I'm saying? So when I was out there today, from the little bit I did see, I mean every camp was organized. So that's across the board, right? Every camp was organized, right? Now they was doing individual drills, they was doing breakout drills. So I was watching the running backs. Kamara is muscular as in person. Kamara is, I mean, he's not a tall dude, but Kamara is built. You know what I'm saying? Like Mark Ingram is a bowling ball. Kamara is like stocky. He quick on his feet. You know what I'm saying? Great vision, great footwork. Good cuts. Got great hands. The dude's smooth. If you watch him back in Tennessee, and he don't even look fast, but when you watch him, you be like, that dude got sneaky speed, right? So I watched the running back group. They look solid. Individual drills. Didn't get to the 11-on-11 because of the rain and lightning. I watched the Saints O-line, right? Because the Bucs D-line got to deal with, the Saints O-line. And right now, James Hurst, is probably going to be the starter at left tackle, which is an advantage to the Bucs, which should be an advantage to the Bucs with Joe Tryon and Shaq Barrett. I don't know if Shaq Barrett, I remember he was talking about rushing from his right side. But I think he's going to rush more from his left side than the right side, but they'll mix it up because I think they're going to stick Tryon over there at the left, or Tryon's right side, which is the left tackle. He can deal with James Hurst. Trevor Penning, that dude is lean in person, but if he starts over James Hurst, I think Joe Tryon going to walk the dog on Trevor Penning. I think Joe Tryon going to walk the dog on Trevor Penning. I think he's going to be too quick, too strong, too long. And Trevor Penning is a grabber, man. That dude grab. And when I say, Carlton Davis is a grab, right? Trevor Penning is a grab. So I think Joe Tryon going to do some magic on him. You know what I'm saying? But the Saints O-line is strength. I mean, it's one of the strengths of the team. It's durable. Not saying durable, but it's solid. And McCoy, Pete back from injury. But I think the Bucs D-line should be able to handle that with Hakeem Hicks, Logan Hall, Vita Vea. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Bucs D-line will hold up pretty well. But I don't think Trevor Penning's going to start. You know what I'm saying? What else? I was watching the linebackers, DeMario, Pete Warner. We know about the Saints linebackers, right? Demario Davis, right? Top 5 linebacker, whatever you want to call, top 10, whatever. I think the Bucs, Leonard Fournette, that's who you got to deal with. You got to deal with Demario Davis. Demario Davis look good. Even at 33, going on 34, Demario Davis, even at his age, is still a top linebacker. If you remember Demario Davis back in, when he played for the Jets, he was a solid player, but I don't know what happened between his last year at the Jets and when he got to the Saints, but he made another leap. Watching him in person at 33, 34 years old, that dude is playing like he in his late 20s, 27, 28. That dude's a beast. You know what I'm saying? Watching him in person, he's all about business, no games. So if you had to put Lavonte and Demario Davis together, it's like the same player. Impact players. Lavonte David do his thing, underrated. Demario Davis. This isn't, and the reason I'm telling y'all this is I'm trying to give y'all a perspective from a scouting perspective. You know what I'm saying? From a scouting perspective, from a visual perspective, my visual prowess, right? Just looking at it from a football fan perspective, because I'm a Bucs fan all day, but just looking at it from a football perspective, Lamar Davis is a beast. You know what I'm saying? We can't deny that. As much as we don't like the Saints, but you can't deny the facts. Remember, facts over feelings, right? I don't like the Saints. I don't like the Aints, but the fact that remains is they got some dogs over there. You know what I'm saying? We can call them trash all we want to, but the facts does show on paper that them dudes is nice. And seeing it in person is different, And I looked at the secondary. I was checking out the secondary. They deep. One of the few teams that can probably guard the Bucs receiving corps. Not too many teams can guard the Bucs receiving corps because we deep. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, Julio Jones at number 4, Scotty Too Hotty, Tyler Johnson, Perriman, Grayson, Darden. Whoever gonna get the last 2 spots, you know what I'm saying? So it all depends. I don't know who gonna get the last 2 spots, and like I said, I get my perspective after the preseason on who gonna get those last 2 spots, maybe that 3rd preseason game. But the Saints secondary is one of the few secondaries, and I think I can put the Ravens there too. The Ravens secondary, a healthy Ravens secondary, can deal with the Bucs receivers. I guess you could say Buffalo. You could throw Buffalo in there. Who else? Like I said, it's not too many secondaries that can deal with the Bucs receivers. Who else can deal with the Bucs receivers? And I only name the Bills, the Saints, the Ravens. I think that's it. The Bills, Saints, and the Ravens are the only 3 secondaries I can think of that had the Green Bay Packers secondary. I think they solid that can deal with the Bucs receivers to a certain degree. But not too many secondaries can deal with the Bucs receivers. But when I look at the Saints secondary, they different. Them boys out there now. Now I'm a Gator fan all day, so Keanu O'Neal on the Bucs great, and then Charlie Gardner Johnson, CRJ, 22, number 22 on the Saints that got in Brady's face. I was watching him in person. Now he's holding in right now for a contract, but he was out there in his shorts. You know what I'm saying? And they look good out there. Bradley Roby, Paulson Debo, Marshawn Lattimore, PJ Williams, Marcus May, Florida guy, Gator Day all day. Tyrann Mathieu was out there. Fam, these boys do not underestimate the Saints secondary. They Lavonte Taylor. Like, I'm literally watching these guys in person. Like, it's only 3 or 4 secondaries that can deal with the Bucs receivers, and I'm watching one of them. And the reason why I'm doing this, folks, is because we got the Saints week 2. So I have to go out there and see, like, what's really good. Now, if we had the Saints later on in the year, I probably wouldn't be doing this. But the fact that we got the Saints, and I'll be at that game too. I'll be at the first 2 games. I'll be at the Cowboys game, and I'll be at the Saints game in week 2 in New Orleans. So the first 2 games, I'm at the first 2 games watching. So I got to do extensive research on the Cowboys, and I got to do extensive research on the Saints. And luck just so happened to be, I live in the city where there's, where one of our divisional rivals play in. So I got to go out there this year because I think the Bucs going to get one of these games. And I was out there. It was nothing but Saints fans out there. And I had an all-black shirt on. I blended in. I ain't want no trouble. Now, that's quite disrespectful if I would have came out there and put on a Bucs jersey or a Bucs shirt. That would have just draw unwanted attention. And I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need that type of attention. I'm a bold guy, but I'm not going to be disrespectful either. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a football fan, because I could have wore a Bucs shirt out there, a Bucs, tank top, you know what I'm saying? A Bucs shirt, a Bucs hat. I did have my Bucs license plate tag, you know what I'm saying? I do have the license, not the license plate itself, but the trimming around it says Bucs, Tampa Bay Bucs. So if anybody was parked behind me or drove behind me, they saw my tag. So they could have saw me then. But as far as walking into Saints practice facility or, watching the Saints practice, that looks very awkward sitting there with a Bucs shirt on or a Bucs jersey. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to catch all that heat, and I ain't got time for that because I got a quick trigger. I ain't got time for that. I ain't gonna do the talking. I'm one of them dudes. I'm a nice guy. Face value. I'm a nice guy, but I ain't much for the talking. So if I'd have came out there and they would have been talking, I'd have been ready to buck. That's just that Florida boy in me. You know what I'm saying? 813 all day. Nucio. You know what I'm saying? That Nucio all day. But watching the Saints secondary, that's gonna be a great matchup week 2. Great matchup. But them boys out there look solid. They look in shape. They in condition. They work as a unit. And Paulson Abadebo, man, look like he made a jump from year 1 to year 2. And remember, I'm talking to y'all from a football fan perspective. Now I will talk to you from a Bucs fan perspective in a second, but I'm just giving y'all a football fan perspective. That a person that loves football, college, NFL, high school, flag football, semi-pro. You know what I'm saying? I love football in general, so I can talk football all day, pretty much about most teams. Like I can literally sit down and talk to most other fan bases about their team too. Maybe not in depth as them, but I can sit there and talk to them about. I could talk to a Ravens fan base. I can talk to a Rams fan base. I could talk to a Bills fan base. I could talk to a Lions fan base. I could talk to, I could talk football and their players too. Not in depth, but I'm doing right now. Also, in the individual drills, I was looking at the Saints receivers. Chris Olave looks like a bro. Like, I'm a receiver, so I know when I see a receiver. Chris Olave looked like a real receiver. And I'm not trying to strike fear, or I'm not taking no sides. I'm not trying to be like, oh, look at BucosLocker. He talking about the Saints like he want to be a Saints fan. No, I'm talking to you from a football perspective. I'm talking to you from a pure football fan. And I love receivers. So I love receivers across the NFL, period. My favorite receiver is Mike Evans. But I love receivers, period. I like Jamar Chase. I like Justin Jefferson. I like T. Higgins. You know what I'm saying? I like Elijah Moore. You know what I'm saying? I like Michael Pittman Jr. You know what I'm saying? I like receivers. I like CeeDee Lamb swag. You know what I'm saying? I like Jerry Jeudy swag. His route run, his smoothness. I like Devontae Adams' route running abilities. You know what I'm saying? I like receivers. I love receivers. No, I ain't gonna I love receivers. I watch them all day. But my favorite is Mike Evans. I'm more hard on him than any receiver. You know what I'm saying? I like Rondale Moore. You feel me? I like Gabriel Davis. I like receivers, as you can see. Rashad Bateman. You know what I'm saying? I can name receivers all day. That I watch every receiver across the NFL. You know what I'm saying? I watch receivers like for real. Like we want to talk receivers, we can go around the NFL, and I can do that all day. So looking at Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. I love Garrett Wilson. That was my favorite receiver in the draft class. Garrett Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Pickens. George Pickens from Pittsburgh, the rookie receiver. He's listed as first team on the depth chart. George Pickens, a sleeper in the draft this past draft. George Pickens. I've been watching his videos. I've been watching his training camp videos and stuff like that. Dude, nice. He's already a starter. They moved Chase Claypool to the slot. George Pickens is the starting outside receiver. Chase Claypool is the slot now. Deontay Johnson just got a contract. Cooper Kupp. Allen Robinson looking good. Van Jefferson hurt, but he's solid. Gator boy all day. Look how many receivers I'm naming. I can do this all day. You know what I'm saying? But looking at Chris Olave, you know, if you was in high school or in college, when you was playing football, what is flag football, you just know when a person's fast. You just, when you see somebody run, you be like, he fast. Like you ain't even got to think about it twice. That's how when I look at Chris Olave, I'm like, yeah, he like that. The dude got smoothness in him, dog. Like I was literally watching him like, could he be the best receiver on the team? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying, just looking at him like the dude, his route running, his cuts. You know when you see a horse run, like Tyreek Hill, like Chris Olave, like he be jogging on cats, but he be running from cats. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching him, his hands, and his cutting and all that. But I say this to say that. I say that to say this. Don't sleep on the Saints receiving corps. I was watching Jarvis Landry. His route running ability is crazy. I saw Michael Thomas. That dude huge. Michael Thomas is huge. He ain't the fastest, but his routes is crazy. His route running capability, his hands is ridiculous. I saw Callaway. He dropped a couple balls. Callaway, he's number 4. Remember now, Callaway was a number 1 last year. Their number 1 receiver from last year is a number 4 or 5. Now think about that for a second. They got Michael Thomas back. They drafted Olave, and they got Jarvis Landry. Those are your top 3 receivers. That ain't no they trash. That you can't say that. I literally watched them. You can't say, they trash, because as a Bucs fan, you got to show some respect. Now the Bucs receiving core is top 5. Don't get me wrong. Now the Saints receiving core, I wouldn't say they top 5. Our receiving core is better. Don't get me wrong. Our receiving core is better than the Saints receiving core. And I know some of the Saints fans gonna be like, Mike Thomas is better than Mike Evans. Whatever. It is what it is. The Bucs receiving core is a lot better, top to bottom. If you want to include the tight ends, we better. We better from top to bottom. We got more depth. Because you got to think about it. You look at the Saints, top of the food chain for the Saints, you got Thomas, Landry, Olave, and then you got Devontae Hardy, not Harris, Hardy. And then you got Callaway, which is not bad. And you got Troutman and Taysom Hill. And then you could throw in Kamara if you want to throw in Kamara. But if you look at the Bucs, from top to bottom, we're just better. That's why I got the Saints. That's why I got the Bucs receiving core better. Overall better. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, Julio Jones. Them 4 alone. And then you got the rest of the young guys behind those guys. And then you got Kyle Rudolph, which is not saying he's like top level tight end, but he's solid. And then you got Cameron Brate, who's solid. And Cade Otton out there, he making plays. Cade Otton might be better than Adam Troutman right now. You know what I'm saying? Cade Otton might be better than Adam Troutman right now. Our rookie is probably better than y'all second-year player right now. Cade Otton out there showing out. Somebody say Russell Gage. It did sound kind of weird saying Russell Gage and Julio Jones, right? Because they Falcons. Like, I look at them as Falcons receivers, but it sounded kind of weird. It did. It sounded kind of weird saying Julio Jones and Russell Gage, right? It did, because I look at them as Falcons receivers. Let me put an asterisk about both of those names. Julio Jones and Russell Gage with an asterisk sign. It's just like I'm always look at them as Falcons receivers, especially Julio Jones. I'm gonna always look at him as a Falcon receiver wearing a Bucs jersey. You know what I'm saying? But he's on our team, so I have to include him in this conversation. And we're gonna find out how much he has left in the tank, which I think he got some juice in the tank left. And he won't be guarded by a number 1 or number 2. He'll be guarded by a number 3 or number 4 cornerback. And if you don't double Julio Jones, even at this stage, he's gonna get some catches. Now Russell Gage, solid slot receiver. Now, I did do a little more research on Russell Gage last season in the games that he showed out in. He had 11 catches for 130 yards against the Bucs. Now, there were some other games he didn't do much in. And I was wondering, the games that he didn't do much in, I was looking at the secondaries. I was looking at the cornerback. Because remember, Russell Gage is not a number 1 or number 2. He's not looked at as a number 1 or number 2. But as a number 3, he gonna make a killing. Russell Gage gonna make a killing when Godwin fully come back, and Godwin's the number. I guess you could say Godwin's number 1, Mike Evans number 2, and then Gage is gonna make a killing. Your slot cornerback better be top level. Guarding Russell Gage. Now, at the beginning of the season, depending on how Godwin feels, Gage might be the number 2, which he'll be fairly decent against a number 2. Not great, but decent. Against a number 3, he gonna destroy a number 3 cornerback, a number 4 cornerback, and Julio Jones will too. That's where you Saints fans sleeping at. Yes, I know they Falcons receivers, but they on the Bucs right now. for now, temporary. But now, as far as looking at the Saints receivers, let's get back to my little scouting report. Olave, that dude. And Winston, we'll get to the quarterback in a second, but Winston throwing to him. But like I told y'all, you know what I'm saying? Don't now the Saints receiving core, they're not bad. Because we don't know what Mike Thomas is gonna do in week 2. Now, Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean and Murphy Bunting, and now you can say Winfield Jr. and Logan Ryan. That's a pretty good matchup there. The Bucs secondary against the Saints receiving core. I think we gonna do our thing. Now, we already know Michael Thomas. He's been killing the Bucs secondary for years. He's been doing the Bucs secondary for years. Let's not act like we ain't see this. The Bucs, for some strange reason, the Vernon Hargrave days, couldn't guard Mike Thomas. Now you got Jarvis. Look, what we gonna put? Murphy Bunting on Jarvis Landry, Logan Ryan, Winfield Jr. Like I said, we're gonna match up pretty well. And then you got Olave. Who's gonna guard Olave? Jamel Dean, because we don't have anybody that fast. Like literally watching that boy in person, watching that young man in person, we don't have anybody that fast can guard him one-on-one. Or Devontae Hardy. Because the Bucs secondary is not like an explosive secondary. It's like a solid, together secondary. It's like we don't have that Jair Alexander, that Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a Travion White. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that Ravens, secondary, that Marlon Humphrey. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that. Yeah, that we don't have that AJ Terrell. Or that Patrick Surtain, or J.C. Horn, you feel me? We don't have that type of cornerback. We have a solid set of corners, but we don't have that dog. We don't have that. Now Carlton Davis is on the edge, on the cusp of being that, depending on what he do this year. But we don't have that. Yeah, we ain't throwing to his side. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at when they name top cornerbacks, Carlton Davis' name don't even come up at all. Like, I've seen a lot of top cornerback rankings, and I do not see Carlton Davis' name come up in any of those. Top cornerback discussions, I never hear about Carlton Davis. So he got some work to do this year. And maybe he makes that jump. We don't have a Marshawn Lattimore, unfortunately. Don't get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? What does the eyes tell you? All those cornerbacks I named, they always coming up in the conversations. It's not me. It's the NFL circles. Go look at other fan bases. Go look at the conversations. I'm just telling y'all what I see. You know what I'm saying? And but we gonna match up well against the Saints receiving core. But just one of the issues might be, Hardy and Olave, because we don't have those speed corners that can run with those guys. And those guys are quick, fast, and they're very quick and very fast. Hardy, he's short. That dude, he about my height and about my size. But the dude is fast. And he runs punts and kickoffs back. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see. This is going to be a good matchup. Our secondary versus their receiving core, and our receiving core versus their secondary. That's going to be a sight to see. I can't wait to see that. Now, as far as the quarterback situation, it's with the Saints. I was watching Winston, see how he looks. He looks in shape. He has the big brace on his knee. I don't see a crazy limp. Like the media was like, oh, Winston's walking around with a limp. His knee's still messed up. Go sign Jimmy Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield. Folks, that ain't happening. Winston is the guy. The Saints are all in with Jameis Winston. They drafted Trevor Penning. They drafted Chris Olave. What else do you need to know? Now, as you know, he used to play for the Bucs. So when the difference between Jameis Winston with the Bucs and Jameis Winston with the Saints is like night and day. Like visually looking at him, totally different player. Now I don't know what he's gonna do this season, but if you have to go back and look at what he did in the last season, 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, not bad based on his history. That's a 360. Granted, offensively they scaled it back a little bit. Plus, I'm adding content to that. Callaway, Hardy, Kevin White, Troutman. Your receiving core was like 32, 31 last year. So you got to factor that into, yeah, he didn't look good with his numbers, but he didn't turn the ball over. 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. You can't just turn your nose up on that. And then if you factor in the receiving core he had last year versus what he got this year, he can only go up. He can only go up. Like, but there is a difference. When Jameis Winston came to the Bucs in 2015, and when Jameis Winston came to the Saints in 2020 or 2022, we can say that even started last year, but let's just compare it, right? Jameis Winston in 2022 versus Jameis Winston in 2015 is night and day. Like night and day. I'm just giving y'all an inside scoop on. See, as fans, we do a lot of speculating and discussions and opinions, right? But when you start seeing things in person, when you start going to these games, you start to understand, when you talk and what you see kind of matches up. And then when somebody that don't go to games or don't go to practices, they talk, it's kind of hard to kind of side with them because it's like, well, I was there. I'm telling you what I saw. And then the person that wasn't there, that don't go to games or practices, they be like, well, such and such said he looked like this. Well, I was there. You feel me? So there's a difference between what somebody's telling you what they see versus what somebody tell you what they heard. And I'm telling you what I see. Winston now versus Winston with the Bucs is not the same player. I'm just giving y'all a foreshadowing. It's not the same player. Now, if you think you're gonna see 33 for 30 Winston with the Saints, I don't know what to tell you. Because if you still think that you're going to see 2019 Winston, that means you're stuck in the past. Because remember that this is a different culture, a different offensive scheme, and a different environment, right? A different approach. Like, people do mature. I think people don't understand in general, and we as young kids, we had to grow as an adult. And for men, most men don't start maturing until around 30. Like, to get their full manly thought process all together, right? Takes till about 30, late 20s, early 30s. So if you look at the projection based on what, as Bucs fans, what we seen in Winston, immature, dumb stuff, off the field stuff, boneheaded plays. Granted, the system was no risky, no biscuit, but still. And some of that had to do with coaching, tip balls, and stuff like that. But if you notice, I'm giving y'all from a football perspective, if you notice when he went to the Saints, you didn't see none of that stuff. No off the field stuff, no boneheaded plays really. You know what I'm saying? Understanding the offensive scheme. Remember, no risky, no biscuit going to Sean Payton is night and day as well. This is why I'm telling y'all, from what I see with Winston, Bucs, Winston Saints is night and day. 360. Like, that's a different player. What you see now is not the Bucs Winston. So I think as Bucs fans, we look at Winston as Tampa Bay Bucs Winston. Saints fans look at Jameis Winston as Jameis Winston New Orleans Saints. And when I went out there and to see for myself, what do I see? What does your eyes tell you? Well, from a person that was out there watching practice, that is not Jameis Winston Tampa Bay Bucs. That is not the 33 for 30 Jameis Winston out there. I'm just telling y'all. And watching him throw the ball, still got a cannon, but they was doing a lot of short routes, intermediate routes. I mean, granted, this is practice, but I'm just telling y'all from what I see. Now, in the game, I don't know if he's going to play in the preseason, but when the game hits, we're going to see. Now, we did see some of that last year, but all I'm doing right now is giving y'all football fans, Bucs fans, Saints fans in the chat room, I'm just giving y'all a football perspective, a football fan perspective. You know, I'm taking my Bucs hat off and putting my football hat on. And what I'm telling y'all right now, what the Saints had last year at receiver versus this year is night and day. So, and the reason why I say this is because when the Bucs defense play the Saints, it won't be like last year. If that makes sense. And the reason why I say this is because look at the Saints, what they're doing now at receiver versus last year. And if you understand football, they literally took their number one receiver from last year, Callaway, and number two receiver, Hardy, number three, Traquan Smith. And all three of those guys that were 1, 2, and 3, those guys are 4, 5, and 6. I want y'all to think about that. They're number 1 and number 2 and number 3 receivers from last year, which is probably one of the worst in the NFL last year. And it literally was. Those guys are number 4, 5, and 6 on the depth chart. This year, their number 1, number 2, and number 3 wasn't there last year. Think about that for a second. Like, look, I get it. I don't like the Saints, but just take your Bucs hat off for a second and just look at it from a football perspective. Their number 1 and number 2 and number 3 this year was not playing last year. So I'm just giving y'all I'm just foreshadowing. I'm giving y'all a fair warning. If you think the Saints can't move the ball based on what I've seen in practice today, with Kamara out of the backfield, with the wild card Taysom Hill. Remember, I'm not saying the Saints going to be crazy on offense, but don't underestimate them. And the reason why I'm telling y'all this because multiple reasons. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna keep beating your head. I'm gonna keep beating your head on this. Number one, I'm a football fan. I'm putting my football hat on. I'm just telling y'all what I seen. I went out there and I seen for myself. We got the Saints in week 2. That's the second reason I'm telling y'all this. We got the Saints in week 2, so I gotta understand what they're doing. So I'm literally becoming agent zero for the Bucs fan base. I got an all black shirt on. It was hot out there. I'm a Bucs fan. I'm trying to get the inside scoop on what we're going against in week 2. Not too many fans do this. Not too many fans of other teams that live in a city where their team don't play it, that live in a city where another team plays in their division, go to their practices. I can't remember any fan, like let's like a Steelers fan living in Cleveland and he going to the Cleveland Browns practice. Or a Steelers fan living in Baltimore, he's going to the Ravens practice to do some inside scoop. You know, he's giving y'all, the Steelers doing, or the Ravens doing this and the Ravens doing that. I'm literally going behind enemy lines and watching practice so I can come back on here and report to my fan base, to the fan base I'm a part of, which is the Tampa Bay Bucs fan base, telling y'all what I see. And I hate to say this. Some of the Bucs fans gonna be like, oh, look at BucosLocker. Some are gonna be like, oh, he lying, he can't see nothing. Okay, well, you come out here for yourself and see. I'm just telling you what I see. I didn't record no videos. I didn't do anything. I ain't asking no autographs. I don't want none of that. I am there to do scouting. I'm telling y'all what I see. I'm telling y'all what we're going against in week 2. What is the issue? What is the issue? I am doing y'all a favor because it seems to me that whatever the Bucs been doing the last 8 games ain't working. So, well, let me go see why the Saints keep beating us. That's what the reason I'm doing this is I want to see why in the world the Saints keep beating us. So let me go out there myself and watch they practice. I'm going behind enemy lines. I'm the one that I'm sticking my neck out for my fan base. I'm sticking my neck out for my team, the Pirates of Sea Bandits, to go see. I'm out here in the trenches. I'm out there in the stands. I'll be out there Wednesday and Thursday. It's free. Unlike the Bucs, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't let me in when I went down there last week, but they wouldn't let me in training camp practice. I wanted to see what the Bucs was doing. All right, well, I came back into the Saints. Don't it make sense? Ain't y'all glad? My Pirates and my Sea Bandits, ain't you glad I'm doing this? Ain't you glad I'm actually giving y'all inside scoop on what the Saints got going on? I don't know if I'm getting in trouble, but you get what I'm saying with this, right? You feel me? But anyway, let's get back to the subject. In all, folks, the Saints team that we saw last year, that went 9-8, it's not the same one. That's all I'm saying. Like, do not underestimate the Saints. You don't underestimate no team. But specifically, in our division, I don't care about the Carolina Kitty Cats. I don't care about the Atlanta Falcons. That's 4 wins right there. The Bucs are 4-0 already. 2 games against the Falcons and 2 games against the Carolina Kitty Cats. We 4-0 already. All we got to do is win 11 games. 11 to 12 games, win the playoffs. Maybe 10, but you get what I'm saying. I got the Bucs 11-6, 12-5. We got 4 wins already, so all we need is 7 or 8 more wins on that schedule. That's right, Agent Zero, or Agent Buckles. Agent Buckles is out there, or Agent BL is out there scouting to come back on here and tell y'all what's going on behind the scenes with the Saints. And y'all looking at me like, oh, look at him. Why is he out there? Well, don't we got the Saints in week 2? I'm telling you, all I'm just trying to give y'all a perspective of, remember, what does your eyes tell you? Hashtag, what does your eyes tell you? What my eyes tell me, that ain't the same team from last year. Coaching is different. The receiving core is different. They got a new left tackle. Honey Badger, Marcus May, the safety situation is different. I'm just saying. And I'm just telling y'all, what y'all seen last year, it's not the same. Because if you think, remember, it's already hard to win on the road. Remember, Tampa got to come to one of the craziest stadiums in the NFL. Remember, now I lived here. I've been to a couple games. That stadium is no joke. The Superdome get loud, and the Bucs do struggle in the Superdome. And they're going to be hyped in week 2? Week 2? Or can't forget about the Saints D-line. I did watch them too. Davenport, that dude's huge. Peyton Turner is like Joe Tryon, like long and lanky and lean. Marcus Davenport is big and tall and powerful. Peyton Turner is long and lanky and lean. Cameron Jordan, veteran, solid veteran. Unyamata, Tuttle, like. All I'm saying is, from a divisional perspective, don't sleep on these guys. Don't think we just want to, like, I would love for the Bucs to blow out the Saints in New Orleans. Now remember, hashtag probability versus possibility. Week 2, the probability of us blowing the Saints out in New Orleans is low. There's a possibility that it can happen, but the probability is low. I'm just saying. Anyway, I just want to get y'all mindset. You know what I'm saying? And don't think, remember, Bucs fans, you can't live in 2019. And I tell you, and I say this for a reason, because if you think, I'm just telling y'all, like, as a man, I'm 42. It's about maturing. That dude looked different. Like, his whole energy looked different. I'm talking about Winston. His whole energy looked different. You wish with a super chat. He says, I'm more worried about Matt Corral than the Saints. I don't know if you're joking, but much respect to you on that. Cool. But I ain't worried about him. I'm worried about the Saints. So I'm just saying. I just want y'all to understand. Once you remove your feelings about a team, granted, like, I don't like the Saints, but if you remove your feelings and just talk football, you'll know what I'm talking about. And some of you agree what I'm talking about because you understand, right? Then we still got a few fans out there that's like, whatever, he don't know what he's talking about. He's low-key Saints fan. He like the Saints. Oh, this and that. He like Jameis Winston. Remember, I'm a Gator fan all day, so I have no ties to no other player outside of the Gators players. You know what I'm saying? So keep in mind, folks, y'all gotta understand how the game works, man. This ain't 22-year-old Winston, 23, 24, 25-year-old Winston with the Saints. This is a 28-year-old mature man. He's married with 2 kids. Different mindset, work ethic. He's a leader. He's a leader out there. And despite the fact that what he went through in Tampa, he's not the same player. That's what my eyes tell me. That's what the chakra tell me. Ain't not the same player. I know Marcus May. I know CGJ. I ride with Marcus May and Johnson all day. Gardner Johnson all day. Keanu O'Neal from the Bucs all day. I'm giving y'all a real perspective here. Because, we all make jokes about, Jameis Winston, about his 30 interceptions, but we're in 2022. I mean, how long can you hold on to that? I mean, it's 3 years. Almost 3 years has passed, and you're going to skip over 2021 and talk about 2019? Or you're going to talk about what he's doing now? Because remember, it's what have you done for me lately? Do not underestimate that dude at quarterback. I'm just telling y'all. If you play football, you understand what I'm talking about. Don't go into a game underestimating the team. And what's so crazy is the Saints is similar to the Bucs. Todd Bowles replaced Bruce Arians. Dennis Allen replaced Sean Payton. Both got Brady. The Saints got Winston. There's some ties there, man. Then there was talks about Brady coming to the Saints if Drew Brees didn't come back. Cameron Jordan calls Donovan Smith food. Gardner Johnson don't like Tom Brady. Tyrann Mathieu don't like Tom Brady. Marshawn Lattimore don't like Mike Evans. P.J. Williams had a low hit on Chris Godwin, put it towards ACL, hurt our chances of winning another Super Bowl. Devin White injured Jameis Winston with a horse collar dirty tackle. Folks, what more can you ask for? What more can you ask for?
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so this is the umbrella story and you're catching it here.
Yeah. What more can you ask for? The storylines are all there. The storylines for the Bucs and Saints game week 2 and what was the other game? Week 13 or 12, whatever. The storylines are all set, folks. The storylines is all set. Because to me, the Bucs versus Saints is personal. Now I'm giving y'all from a Bucs fan perspective. I'm giving y'all from a Bucs fan perspective. It's personal for me because I live here. So there is no doubt in my mind I want the Bucs to beat the Saints really 2 times. So I can walk around the city flexing. It's hard to flex when your team lose. 38-3, 9-0, 36-27. It's hard to flex like that. Look, man. Look, you wish. I feel you, dog, but what did the rules say, man? Grab him by the shoulder, but still shouldn't have tackled him like that. I'm just telling you from a football perspective. Still shouldn't have tackled him like that. Why are you grabbing this? When you are a DB or cornerback or a linebacker or a D tackle, anytime you got to tackle somebody here, that means you over pursued. You're running too fast. You're doing too much. You're not in good tackle position. This is why you got pads on. You hit him. The fact that Devin White didn't know his angle, he had to grab him somewhere. You don't grab nobody like that. And if you watch Devin White play, you wish, he does it a lot. He grabs here all the time on every player, almost all his tackles. He's never lowering the boom. It's always grabbing somebody to pull him down. Like, this is Devin White. This is how he tackles. He over pursues. When you over pursue, you reach and grab jerseys. That's how you get people hurt. And he's not the only one that has done this. Other players have done this to other players before. When you overrun, you grab jerseys. He's a high tackler. You shouldn't even do that. You should just tackle him. He don't lower the boom like a Cam Chancellor. He don't be lowering the boom like Roquan Smith or Demario Davis or Fred Warner or Darius Leonard. This dude grabs, which explains why he over pursues. It's not me. It's the tape. What does your eyes tell you? You mean to tell me Devin White here laying people out with the shoulder pads? When the last time you seen Devin White hit somebody with a shoulder pad that's like, ooh? He always grabbing. It's in his highlights. It's in his highlights. Don't look at me. Go look at the tape. Don't get mad at me. I like Devin White, but he plays out of control. And when you play out of control, when you don't play with patience, and you don't play with awareness and instincts, you over pursue. Because the reason why he's been tackling like that in the past, and hopefully this season he changed that. I hope he does. And I hope he's contract. But the reason why he's doing that, the reason why he plays like that, he over pursues and he grabs jerseys a lot, or he tackles high on the pads, is he's making up for the lack of instincts. The lack of natural instinct is what Devin White missing. This is why he tackles off of pure athleticism, if that makes sense. Think about that. Use your brain for a second here. He tackles off of pure athleticism. He doesn't tackle based on football instincts, football IQ. This is why he can't cover good. He lacks the pure football fundamentals, which is why he grabs and tackles, or he pulls and tackles. You get people hurt doing stuff like that. Did you have to grab him that high? I can care less about. Look, it's how you tackle. Football is a dangerous sport, especially if you are grabbing somebody full speed ahead and you run past them and you reach back or reach to the side to grab their jersey from the side or from behind, and the players, you can pull them back and mess up their knees. We've seen this already before. This is why a flag was thrown, because the devastating impact of that. This is why he was flagged for the personal foul. NFL trying to clean that up. This is why you wear pads, because if that's the case, you might as well play touch or flag football. Devin White should be in Devin White would be an all-pro flag football player, flag football touch, two-hand touch player. That way he can just run around all day. But when you put on pads, you better know how to tackle. And this is one of the areas I want to see Devin White improve in. Tackle correctly. Head in front of the body. Not like direct, don't pierce nobody like a piercing blow, but head to the side in front of the chest plate. Lower the boom. I play football. I don't know about you, Rich. I don't know if you played pad football, but you don't tackle with your hands. I can go there. You don't tackle with your hands. Devin White does that a lot. Go back and watch the tape. Anybody with clear eyes, with no issues with the eyesight, can see and will tell you Devin White tackles high a lot. He over pursues. He's out of control. What part are you not agreeing with? Oh, he grabbed him by the shoulder. Why did you grab him by the shoulder? You a linebacker, 6'1", 240 pounds. You grabbing somebody by the shoulder. Come on, man. Wake up. Use your brain, man. Come on, man. I'm not defending anything. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you the facts. Get back. Devin White is missing fundamentals. He did it at LSU. Devin White was drafted off potential in his ceiling, his athleticism. He wasn't drafted on he can cover, he has high football IQ. Come on, man. Come on, use your brain here. I can do this all. I can talk football all day. All day. About a lot of positions. Come on, man. Wake up. Anyway, all I'm saying is, but in overall, this video, going out to the training camp, it was hot. Like I said, if we have any Bucs fans, Pirates and Sea Bandits, You can't downplay nobody on the schedule except for the Falcons and the Carolina Kitty Cats. But everybody else in that schedule, you can't just throw them to the side. Now, granted, you still got to pick a victory, win or loss. As far as our predictions, you still got to give your predictions and your opinions on the games, which I have done. And I'll do it again before the season starts. I got us going 11-6, 12-5, which I got us winning a lot of games. Now, does it mean is it going to happen? No. But this is based on what I've been watching, what I've been reading, and I formulate my opinion. I formulate what I think is going to happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It can happen, but it's just a theory. I have a theory. I have some reasons why the Bucs gonna go 12-5, 11-6, and going to the playoffs. So like I said, and it's been a while since I've been to a training camp. But it was a good thing to do, because it got my football juices riled up again. It got my football juices flowing again, going out there watching the pads and watching those guys run their drills. I'm gonna try to get back down to Tampa, as far as to watch the training camp, but I don't know if it's gonna be possible. But like I said, I'll definitely be at the games. I'll be at 2 or 3 games in Tampa this season and a couple of games on the road. Remember, folks, there's a big difference between just talking about football behind the keyboard, or in a forum, in a chat room, or on a YouTube channel, in the chat room, and all that stuff like that, versus somebody actually going to the games. And not just going to the games, but going to the games with the understanding of how football is played and the understanding of football in general. See, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I just understand. I go to the games to enjoy myself, root for my team, have a good time, start no trouble. But I also go to the game to understand it. So remember, I'm not one of these channels that's going to talk and talk and talk and talk. I'm going to go to these games. I'm going to get there early, an hour or 2 hours for the game, and try to get on the field and, see what's going on and watch them warm up and stuff. I'm one of those guys. I'm not one of these channels that, you listen to and they never go to the games. They never go to the games. You don't see them anywhere. But granted, they talking about a lot of stuff they heard, which is fine. But you have to mix in. Granted, everybody's funds ain't the same, so everybody can't go to the games. But I'm one of those guys. I'm one of these channels that can talk football and actually go to the game and tell you what I see. It's a big difference. Trust me. That's why I don't watch a lot of channels, because a lot of these guys don't go to the games. They just talking about what they already heard. I'd rather talk about what I see. It's a big difference. Because when you talk about what you see, you have a lot to talk about. But when you talk about what you hear and read, you have a limit. Now, you can stretch it out. You can stretch it out all you want to, but you just recycling. I'm not one of these Bucs channels that just sit behind a keyboard. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. You're gonna see me at 4 to 8 games this year. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I see. I'm an IT, by the way, so I work from home, so I have the luxury of moving around like that. But yeah. But anyway, what's going on with my computer here? But yeah, what I'm just saying? Like, the beautiful thing about going to these training camps, like I said, I tried to go to the Bucs training camp last week. I couldn't get a ticket in there, But going to the games, getting there early, hour, 2 hours before the game start, and all these games I go to, I'm gonna try my best to get on the field. And as these players warm up, get some close up and personal pictures and videos. And try to talk to some of the players, like before the game on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, so every stadium I go to this year, I'm gonna reach out to some of them people that work there, or that's fans and that got access to the field before the game start. Because before the game start, you can actually go out there and kind of just stand around and watch them kind of warm up, throw around, and they run in there and then you got to get out the field. But I don't know if every stadium do that, but usually like an hour before the game start, you can go out there and guys out there throwing the ball around, warming up, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can go out there and kind of just on the sideline, not on the field itself, but on the sideline, kind of watch them and have it roped off. I don't know if some of you guys ain't familiar with that, but if you haven't been to football games, but they do that. If you get there early enough, like an hour, 2 hours in advance, and you get there and you get in good with somebody, one of the security guys that's on the field, they'll slide you on in there. You can stand on the sideline looking at the players, and they 5 feet, 10 feet away from you. So I'm not one of those guys that just talk all day. I'll be about it too. And as I go to these games, I'm gonna give y'all some insight. I'm gonna give y'all some live videos from the game, before the game, during the game, and after the game. Stand by, folks. It's gonna be a fun season. It's gonna be a fun season. I told y'all I'm going to, like I said, Cowboys game, the Saints game here. I'm gonna try to go to Cleveland. I'm gonna try to go to Pittsburgh, and of course, a couple Bucs games. The Saints game down there, and then try to hit maybe the Ravens game. I'm gonna try to go 6 to 8 games. I'm gonna try to push it. So I might be coming to a city near you. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this topic up. Like I said, going to training camp, got my football juices going. Had a good time last week in Tampa. Can't wait. Got the first preseason game against the Dolphins. Got joint practice this week. So, football is back. And I told you I'm doing multiple videos a week. So, yeah, I do need to go to the Packers game, don't I? I do need to go to the Packers game. When is the Packers game? Anyway, I ain't looking at the schedule right now. I need to print that schedule out. But anyway, folks, don't sleep on our divisional foe. Period. No matter how you feel about the quarterback, don't sleep on that team. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm just giving y'all a warning. Because come after the game on week 2, win or lose, I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining this edition of Bucos Locker on a Monday. Coming from Saints training camp. I'll be there again on Wednesday and Thursday. Doing some more inside scoop. Hopefully I can get to see the 11-on-11s live, live practice, like live 11-on-11s instead of the 7-on-7 or the position drills. So with that being said, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all the videos that's posted on the channel. With that being said, I want you to fire those cannons, seize the day, raise a flag, hashtag no risk it, no biscuit, hashtag facts over feelings, hashtag bombs away, hashtag what your eyes tell you, hashtag stay humble, hashtag don't get mad at me, hashtag trenches matter, hashtag Super Bowl or bust. Oh, and I forgot, hashtag I believe a possibility. Bucos Locker is out. And wait. Also, I do have a Facebook group finally, because I had a Bucos Locker page on Facebook, but I got a Bucos Locker Facebook group. I'll put that in the comment section. So go join the group so we can talk in the group during the week. I'll make some videos in the group as well. So I'll put that link in the chat or in the comment section. So y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all again on Wednesday after I go do my Agent Zero work on Wednesday. And I'll give y'all some more updates, especially after the 11-on-11s. I get to see what's going on. So I'm behind the scenes. I'm in the trenches for you guys. Bucos Locker out. Peace.